How this family survived and stranded at sea for 38 days for eating only fish, sharks, and the blood of turtles, onions and rubber tubes as well. After their ship was sunk by killer whales in the Pacific Ocean. Hello guys, welcome back again to this channel. In this video, we will talk about how this family survived to this shocking event in her life, and how this family escaped in the ferocity of the sea. But before we continue, please subscribe to this channel. As I mentioned, I'll post every single day. Journey began in January 1971. On the 27th of January 1971, the Robertson family set off on a seaborne voyage around the world, having sold their family farm in Staffordshire to buy a boat. They bought a 50-year-old schooner, the Lucette, and on board were dairy farmers Lynn and Dougal, their 18-year-old son Douglas and 9-year-old twin sons Neil and Sandy, and a deckhand Robin. The whole idea had come from Neil in the first place, suggesting they sail around the world as Dougal was an experienced mariner. They set sail from Falmouth and spent the next 18 months crossing the Atlantic Ocean and stopping off at various ports in the Caribbean. Everything was going smoothly until the 15th of June 1972, when a pod of killer whales attacked the boat, thinking of it as another whale, about 200 miles away from Galapagos Islands. The blows were like sledgehammers smashing into the hull. We began to sink. Water was everywhere and I was terrified. All I could hear was Dad shouting, "Abandon ship." I called back, "Where to?" "We're in the middle of the ocean." He shouted, "Overboard, man. Get in the raft," Douglas stated to the mirror. While everything seemed chaotic, things settled down about a couple of minutes later and the family was sitting in a small fiberglass lifeboat. A total of 6 people, including Douglas's dad, Mum, 2 twin brothers and deckhand Robin, saw their yacht sink into the sea. Unfortunately, the family only had enough water for 10 days and enough emergency food rations for 3 days. It would turn out to be a 38-day ordeal, which saw the family forced to resort to other sources of sustenance to survive. Douglas Robertson told the Lad Bible that without enough food or water to sustain themselves for that period of time, they turned to hunting animals and drinking their blood for sustenance. He explained that some of their food came easily, with a flying fish and a dorado fish both jumping into their boats, but much of the family's food had to be hunted. Someone had grabbed a bag of onions, Douglas informed. From there, Douglas and his family did everything to survive at sea. The group of 6 caught 13 turtles and tied them up. He explained that the turtles' meat tasted like steak and even had eggs from inside the sea creature. From creating an enema system to receive water from the backside to sucking on pieces of rubber trying to create saliva to ease their thirst on a sunny day, the group of 6 endured everything one could imagine. Douglas also told Lad Bible that when their ship went down they immediately confronted the elephant in the room. We made a deal to each other on that first day that no matter what happened we wouldn't eat each other and we would die together," he said. The rescue. On the 23rd of July 1972, 38 days into their trip in the Ednamere, they were finally picked up after a Japanese fishing trawler, the Toka Maru II, on her way to the Panama Canal, spotted their distress flare. The Japanese sailors looked in disbelief. They were going to cast off the Ednamere, but after signaling that they wanted to keep the dinghy, they emptied out all the bad-smelling meat and other contents and brought her on deck. The Japanese crew looked after everyone well. They had traveled over 750 miles by raft and dinghy and had about 290 miles left until they would reach land. When they arrived in Panama on the 28th of July 1972, the world press was there to greet them. Robin flew back to England and the Robertson family came back by ship, the MV Port Auckland. Their daughter Anne was waiting back in England, and the family were soon all together again. It was their spirit of comradeship, ingenuity, love for each other and sheer determination to survive that brought them all home. It was an experience none of them would ever forget. Before his death from cancer in 1992, Dougal Robertson wrote a book about the family's adventure called Survive the Savage Sea, which was turned into a film. It sounds like a fantasy story from a classic adventure novel, But this was the reality for the Robertson family from Staffordshire while on a voyage around the world during the 1970s. I hope you like this video, and please subscribe to this channel. Also comment down below. Have a great day, and see you in the next video.